Next up, we have Flynn Gold, ASX code FG1, market cap of around $10 million. The company is an Australian-based mineral exploration company targeting gold in two emerging gold camps. One is the West Australia's Pilbara region, and then the other is northeastern Tasmania, where it has established 100% owned projects. We have with us Sam Garrett, who's the Executive Director. Sam, over to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Tim, and thanks everybody for joining Share Cafe today. We can jump ahead 2 slides. Flynn has recently turned 1 year old, so in terms of the ASX, we're still a baby. But in that first year, we've been extremely active, drilling 3 separate prospects in our core project in northeast Tasmania. We've been muscling up our exploration and management teams for those projects. And in WA, we've increased our footprint by some 400%, targeting gold and lithium projects in that state. Next slide, please. In northeast Tasmania, our core project, our key philosophy here is that the geology of North Tasmania is a direct correlation of the Victorian orogenic gold belt. You can see in this slide here, we enjoy the same turbiditic sediments, the same granitoids, the same sort of orogenic styles of mineralisation. What the key difference is, which we believe we can leverage off, is the extent of historical exploration in northeast Tasmania relative to Victoria. And that is reflected at the top of the bar on the left-hand side, where you can see, close to $200 million has been spent on exploration in Victoria since 2020, compared to only 14 in Tasmania. Next slide, thanks. Flynn Gold enjoys an early mover advantage in North Tasmania, and we have a dominant exploration position in that belt, but we also enjoy a few other benefits, and we believe one of those key benefits is having deposit optionality. Not only are we exploring for Fosterville style orogenic gold deposits that we see in Victoria, but we believe that we're also have the potential to realise the large-scale IRGS style or intrusive related gold type systems that make up some of the largest gold deposits across the planet, such as Fort Knox and King of the Hills. And we see that type of project or opportunity at our Golden Ridge project and our Lyle project to the northwest of Golden Ridge. At Portland, which includes 3 contiguous projects, Lyndhurst and Mungana, we see evidence for pretty typical Victorian-style orogenic gold mineralisation. But apart from deposit optionality, we also have potential for tin mineralisation in our Cameron licence and our Bendover Hill licence. Thank you. Please, next slide, thanks. At Golden Ridge, we're seeing evidence that this is developing into a big gold system. The mineralisation is defined by a resistive silicified ridge around the southern margin of the Golden Ridge granodiorite, and that is consistent with historical mines, stream, rock and soil geochemistry. And what is key for us there is that there's been very limited historical drilling, with the exceptions of 5 or 6 holes at Brilliant and a single hole, diamond hole at Trafalgar Prospects. Since entering the ASX last year, Flynn has been undertaken surveys of regional mapping and sampling. We've undertaken gravity and gradient array IP geophysics surveys. We've completed a 4,000 metre drilling program at Brilliant, and we've just started drilling our first diamond drill hole at the Trafalgar Prospect, and we released some results initial results from that last week. We're about to start an RC drilling program at the Kensington prospect, which will be part of a broader RC program testing other prospects along that southern contact zone that you can see there in the Mathina beds in contact with the intrusive granite. So, even here, we're enjoying seeing different styles of mineralisation. You can see on the bottom there at Brilliant, we see the potential for that large-scale intrusive related type system. We're seeing breccia related systems, and we're seeing the coarse gold type systems at Trafalgar, which we'll get into soon. Next slide, thanks. Diamond drilling has just started at Trafalgar. Our first hole, TFDD2, is targeting mineralisation that was initially intersected in an historical diamond hole, TFD1, and that hole was targeting bonanza grade gold mineralisation below a historical mine shaft. That historical hole, TFD1, intersected 5 metres of 12.26 grams per gold. And what was key about this intersection and the mineralisation in that hole in general is that it was located within the intrusive granodiorite itself, whereas most of the mineralisation we've seen previously and worked on is located in the surrounding metasediments. So, that's key for us to sort of develop the concept that this system is potentially much larger. And if we can start seeing it within the granodiorite, we open up the potential for this to be a potentially much larger intrusive related type gold system. The current program at Trafalgar includes 3 to 4 drill holes for a total of about 1,400 metres. And we're testing extensions to the system as it is currently known from drill hole 1, and we're aiming to test that granite sediment contact, which has never really been intersected before, and certainly not with a diamond drilling. Next slide, thanks. So a few weeks ago, we announced the results of the first hole, and these were met with a lot of excitement. And there's a very good reason why. That first hole, we intersected 5.4 metres at 10.63 grams gold, which included 2 shorter intervals of 20 grams and 9 grams respectively. We decided to assay that intersection early because it showed evidence of coarse visible gold, and you can see that from the picture on the bottom left-hand side there. And this result is exciting for us because it suggests to us that there's now a second potentially parallel mineralising system to the one that we were targeting deeper down. And it validates and confirms the contact of the metasediment and granite as a key exploration target in this system. And you just have to recall a few slides back that contact and the mineralisation associated with that contact is over 5 kilometres in strike length. So further down drill hole TF2, we still have a zone of increased quartz sulfide veining, which we've sampled, but we're yet to receive assays for, and that is the zone that's consistent with the historical result in TFD1. Our future plans here will obviously continue drilling. That hole is still being drilled. Next holes will target the mineralisation. We'll probably drill a wedge hole off the top of TFDD2 to get a sense of direction of these 2 structures, and then we'll drill a number of holes along strike to start building up our 3D knowledge of this system. Thanks, Tim. Next slide. We've recently completed drilling for 4,000 or a little bit over 4,000 metres at Brilliant in the same sort of contact horizon as the drilling at Trafalgar. That drilling was also successful, though we're still waiting for holes, results from a number of holes there. You can see the early indications suggest a steeply dipping shoots, although there's now evidence of mineralisation developing at shallow depth as well. So that will be followed up with some of that RC drilling as well. Thanks. Next slide, thanks. In conjunction with the drilling, we've undertaken some trial dipole surveys across the mineralisation at Brilliant and Trafalgar. And you can see that the results of those in the left-hand panels at Brilliant identify potential for both chargeability and resistivity anomalies that sit marginal to the existing mineralisation that's known. So we'll be looking to investigate those anomalies further. And from the Trafalgar prospect, you can see consistent resistivity and chargeability anomalies developing along that north-south contact zone between the granodiorite and the metasediments. So would appear, initially at least, that the dipole results are encouraging, and we'll be looking to expand that program in the next year or two. We've also recently undertaken an orientation soil survey along those lines to determine whether the ultrafine fraction soil technique is a useful tool for our more regional exploration programs in this area. Thanks, Tim. And our other key project in northeast Tasmania, Flynn Gold project, we're exploring for classic Victorian style gold systems. The work we've done to date has identified over 38 kilometre strike potential of multiple exploration targets associated with 5 anticlinal hinge trends. You can see those in the picture on the right-hand panel. The trends exhibit similarities to Victorian systems in that they comprise parallel anticlinal trends of tightly deformed and folded turbiditic sediments. The gold, it tends to be hosted in shallow reverse faults and cross-folding hinges. We have proximal siderite alteration and coincident gold, arsenic and antimony geochem anomalies. Next slide, thanks. At the Granfener Prospect at Portland, we're just in the process of conducting our second drilling campaign here, following up from our first drilling campaign in 2020, where we drilled 6 holes targeting arsenic soil anomalies. And that program was successful in identifying anomalous gold up to 17.7 grams per tonne. All those holes, original holes, intersect the tightly folded upright stratigraphy, and gold mineralisation was identified in 5 of the 6 holes. So we're now drilling, identified this as a key anticlinal trend linking Granfener to the Bluebell Prince Imperial prospect to the south, where historical drilling has also intersected significant gold mineralisation, including 2 metres of 7 grams in hole BBRC 16. And that trend, which is separated by about 1.6 kilometres, hasn't really been explored further than those 2 small drilling campaigns. So our current drilling campaign there is testing those structures at depth and exploring for saddle reef structures and our low angle reverse faulting.
Sam, sorry to interrupt, but we're at the 15-minute mark. If you could just wrap up, please. We're out of time.
Okay, let's move on. So this is just a slide that indicates the scale of our system at Portland. It's very much compares to those in Victoria, and you know, it just shows that we're at the start of what is expected to be a very large exploration campaign. In WA, we're just starting our exploration on our gold lithium projects. We've got 4 100% owned projects in WA, and we're continuing to build on those. And we hope to be updating the market on results from those soon. Thanks, Tim. We can end there.
Okay, Sam, sorry, we don't have any time for questions. I'll send through some of those questions over the weekend. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.